dear viewers, and welcome to ABC World, the voice of Pan-Africanism, bringing you the latest news highlights of the hour. I am Tabitha John. Do stay with us. The top stories. Indian ambassador to Ethiopia affirms strong historical ties between Ethiopia and India. And Uganda is on board to roll out new injectable preventive HIV drug. President of the African Development Bank, AFDB, said Ethiopia's tremendous success in achieving self-sufficiency in wheat makes Africa so proud. The president of the AFDB, during a conversation with Ethiopia's President Sahle-Work Zewde at the World Food Prize event in Iowa, USA, praised Ethiopia's remarkable self-sufficiency in wheat production, which he stated as a source of pride for Africa. He also emphasized the role played by the AFDB's financing in contributing to this success. Ethiopia is preparing to cultivate over 3 million hectares of irrigated wheat during the country's summer season. This announcement visit to the Afar region, where he assessed development projects and officially initiated summer wheat production in the region. UNESCO, AU and ECA liaison office director Rita Bissonoth said Ethiopia's beautiful World Heritage sites are a legacy for many generations which need to be conserved. Talking to the Ethiopian news agency, the director noted that Ethiopia has now become the #1 country in the African continent with 11 World Heritage sites, with the addition of 2 more sites in a recent meeting in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. The heritage sites are a legacy not only to the next generation, but to many generations, she added, congratulating the government of Ethiopia on the addition of the 2 more World Heritage sites of Gedeo Cultural Landscape and Bali Mountains National Park. Bissonoth stressed that it is not easy to get enlisted in the UNESCO list of World Heritage sites. Citing the recent visit to Tia, she has just been in Tia with about 30 ambassadors and their families. For Bissonoth, it is very important to preserve such valuable assets by the people, the government, and all stakeholders. UNESCO will, of course, continue supporting such efforts, she added. Ethiopian ambassador to Pakistan, Jamal Bakar Abdullah, has visited the Islamabad Chamber of Commerce and Industry, ICCI, and highlighted untapped business, trade, and investment opportunities in Ethiopia and Africa as well. Addressing the gathering of businessmen, Jamal underscored the importance for Pakistan to establish a stronger presence in Africa, a continent with a population of over 1.4 billion people and immense potential. He stressed that Africa is the future of global commerce and encouraged Pakistani businessmen to align themselves with these lucrative opportunities, according to FBC. He pointed out Ethiopia serves as a gateway to Africa, making it easier for businesses to trade across the continent. He disclosed that Ethiopia's remarkable status as the fastest growing economy, producing over 97% of clean, green, and sustainable energy from hydro, geothermal, and other renewable sources, making it an investment haven for global entrepreneurs. The ambassador guaranteed Pakistani investors of full support from the Ethiopian government and invited them to establish economic zones. He praised the efforts of the Pakistani business community, mentioning a significant visit by over 75 businessmen, including ICCI representatives. Dear viewers, you're watching ABC World. We will be back after the following transition.
Say what a traditional Harari house, like main room, looks like. This red color here represents Chelenko when they fought a war, and it represents the bloodshed of the soldiers. Just thing that I wanted to show you guys. Oh, these kind of like inserts, you can see them, they go all the way in. I thought I'd show you the traditional clothes that Harari people wear. This is just home clothes, it's not Harari, it's East African in general, to be honest. Somalis wear it, Eritreans wear it, Ethiopians wear it, Kenyans wear it, Sudanese people wear it. Yeah, pretty much. It's just a loose piece of clothing. We call it a sheet. Yeah, this is #1 traditional piece of clothing. This is more of a new fashion. This is not the classic. I don't have any of the classic design, but you would see me wear the classic ones at some point. They're yellow and like purple stripes.
Indian ambassador to Ethiopia, Robert Shetkingtong, said Ethiopia and India share a historic relationship that dates back centuries. The diplomatic ties between the two countries have been characterized by mutual respect, cultural exchanges, and cooperation in various fields, the ambassador noted. This remark came when Indian Unity Day was marked in Addis Ababa on Saturday. Tegus Nisa has the full account.
Some 1,000 Indian nationals and friends of India gathered at the Embassy of Indian premises in Addis Ababa to celebrate Indian Unity Day. In a moment of great significance, Indian ambassador to Ethiopia, Shri Robert, emphasized the significance of commemorating not only Indian unity but also exceptional bond shared between these two nations.
Today, we are also taking this opportunity to celebrate what we call India Day. You would all agree that Ethiopia has so much of diversity, whether you have culture, food habits, religion, your nature, your attractive tourist places. So like that in India, we also have diversity. And we celebrate that diversity in such a way that it becomes a unity for the country. So that is why today we are very glad to have 10 performances, 5 by Indian artists and 5 by Ethiopian groups. It's all a combination of Ethiopian dances, Ethiopian songs, and Indian dances and songs. That is to say that while we are celebrating India Day to celebrate our unity, we also want to celebrate the excellent relations, the unity that we have between Ethiopia and India.
The ambassador underscored the profound milestone of 75 years of unwavering bilateral relations between India and Ethiopia, a distinction held by Ethiopia as one of the pioneering African nations in this enduring alliance.
Ethiopia was one of the first countries from Africa to establish diplomatic relations with India in 1948. So that is why this year we are celebrating 75 years of diplomatic relations between Ethiopia and India. So as part of these celebrations, we have brought a number of cultural groups from India. During the past 7-8 months, about 5 cultural groups have visited Addis, Ambo, Adama, Bishoptu. They have also performed in Hawassa and in other places. That is because of the excellent relations that we have. Culture is also an important component.
The Indian Unity Day celebration were elevated to a new heights as multiple artists took the stage, enthralling the audience with a dynamic fusion of Indian and Ethiopian songs, dances, and vibrant performances.
The French government expressed commitment to aid the 58-year-old Ethiopian Broadcasting Corporation, EBC, with its digital archive system. EBC is in the midst of upgrading its rich archives of over half a century to a digital system, a cumbersome task that the French government has agreed to assist. French Ambassador to Ethiopia, Remy Maréchal, says digitalizing EBC's audiovisual archive is a task that will have profound effects in creating ease of access not only to Africa but to the rest of the globe. Demis McCrae reports.
The archives here contain over 80,000 hours of Ethiopian audiovisual history, but much of this heritage now risks being lost forever, stored on old, degraded formats. Ethiopian Broadcasting Corporation CEO Sahai Tagasu stresses the importance of preserving and sharing EBC's content.
At EBC, we have a century-old archive, both Ethiopian content, African content, that has been more than 8,000 hours of archive. So digitizing, preserving this archive is very important for heritage management and cultural, political issues for the country. And France has been very expert on this heritage management, cultural issues, looking at Lalibela, the National Palace Museum. So this is also an important project for us as a country as well as for the media as well.
To save the archives, the Ethiopian Broadcasting Corporation has collaborated with the French Embassy on major digitization effort. French Ambassador Remy Maréchal reveals the embassy has already committed more than 400,000 euros to start.
And this component dedicated to digitization is a bit more than 400,000 euros. So it's not the budget to digitize 80,000 hours, but it's sufficient for the first phase, which is inventory, which is also the proposal to EBC of some technical solutions, some priority, and then the final decision and the strategy will be the one adopted by EBC.
The pilot phase will train Ethiopian technicians to fully own the digitization effort, but EBC CEO Sahai Tagasu says completing the massive project requires more resources and partners.
We know now where to start and where to go. So this is a big collection that requires lengths of time and resources as well. So we need other partners, both the government of Ethiopia and other partners, to support this process. So this will be the study, the outcome of the study in terms of report will be very important for us to convince other partners to support this project as well. So this is an important milestone that we achieved in this past 1 year.
In total, it is estimated over 80,000 hours of EBC radio, television, and film collection will be preserved through this historic collaboration, saving Ethiopia's audiovisual heritage for generations to come.
This pilot phase will be dealing with 2,000 hours, which is limited compared to the 80,000 hours to be digitized. But there will be the opportunity to train Ethiopian technicians so that this project be really sustained. And that's the most important, that the effort, the endeavor to digitize all the archives should not rely only on partnership with France or whoever else, but should be now fully owned by EBC technicians, and we know that it's perfectly doable.
And finally, Uganda is expected to roll out a new preventive HIV injectable drug in less than 3 months. The intervention is part of national efforts to reduce the HIV and AIDS burden that claimed up to 17,000 lives in 2022. In Africa, countries like Zimbabwe and South Africa have already rolled out the drug. Johannes Fentahun has more from CGT in Africa.
Josephine Knapp, Kenya, has been on HIV drugs for close to 2 decades. She says viral load is now unacceptable because she is on timely medication. But it is hectic and she's drug fatigued. Now Kenya wishes interventions like the new HIV injectable had been discovered earlier in life to save millions of young people from acquiring the virus.
I think we've been with HIV for so long. It's so sad that even up to now we still have people actually acquiring the virus from different, from different ways. And that actually shows that the options available are not working for everyone.
Uganda registered 52,000 new infections by 2022 compared to 94,000 a decade ago. Health officials warn the disease is still not under control.
It is imperative, therefore, that the government of Uganda, all development partners and stakeholders, and the people of Uganda work towards meaningful behavioral change to help prevent new infections, especially among adolescent girls and key populations.
Uganda has had several campaigns to stop HIV infections. The country was credited for the ABC campaign, or abstinence, be faithful and condom use, which was popular in the 1990s. It was hailed for bringing down infections when HIV was ravaging sub-Saharan Africa, but it is quickly took a turn after the campaigners relaxed in the strategy. Now, the new preventive injectable is bringing hope of ending the HIV epidemic by 2030.
Choice is important. That is why we are having oral prep, and we are also having oral prep in terms of taking a tablet as well as having the injection. So someone can be able to choose what will actually work for them. Trust me, I've talked to very many people who are actually excited about the injection and they feel like they will go for it versus the tablet.
The Uganda AIDS Commission says the injection is a safe and effective way of preventing HIV compared to the existing options. The injection will be taken once every 2 months, with 10,000 people receiving the drug. In the first year, the target population will be at-risk groups like sex workers and the fishing communities where HIV infections are high.
That's all we had for now. I'm Tabitha John. Many thanks for watching. Have a good time.